Hello and welcome to the Tamworth FC Social, a podcast all about Tamworth Football Club. A reminder, you can follow us on social media at TFC Social Pod. You can click subscribe below this video and switch notifications on to be updated when we upload new episodes as well. Tamworth returned to winning ways on Saturday. Their comfortable 4-0 win over Southport cemented their hold on second place in the National League North. Tamworth did go 8 points clear of third after that win, although that could be reduced depending on results this midweek. That's a little clue as to when we're recording this. Graham, are you a happy man when you look at the league table right now?
Yeah, that was brilliant result for us weekend. After what was a fairly disappointing loss to Chester. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how the teams reacted, and I think we always knew that was going to happen. But sounds like it was an absolutely excellent performance. And some of the goals were very good as well. Shakuna's free kick, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I think we're in a good position. There's that gap that's now opened up between us and South Shields, and starting to look like it's two-horse race.
Do you share that positivity, Brett?
Yeah, glad that I was wrong with the 1-0 win. Nice 8 point gap materialising now between us and South Shields. I'm surprised at how quickly that gap's opened up, actually. But yeah, like Graham said, probably two-horse race now. Looks like it could be.
You were both predicting a win at home to Southport, but it proved more comfortable than both of you predicted, I think. Something that's pleased me personally was the quality of some of the goals. Graham, you mentioned just now how pleased you were. I think that's got to be a good sign, isn't it, when you're scoring brilliant goals like that?
Yeah, I think it's testament to, I guess, the people we're getting back as well. Likes of kind of Ben Acquire coming back, although he didn't score. I think just having those creative outlets is good, and just shows um, even though we lost last week, there's still that kind of big air of confidence that's running through that team, and so it should really. I guess they're sitting. We're sitting second in the league. Confidence is going to be high. But yeah, I mean, all the goals were of quality. A good set piece. Good, well worked. Other three goals as well. So also, the long throws are continuing to be effective, and I think yeah, we definitely trouble some sides with those. So it's good.
Did it surprise you, Brett, how comfortable the win ended up being in the end?
It shouldn't have, but it did. Just because I think, obviously, after the Chester result, and then how I think the form's been quite up and down sort of the last 6 weeks or so. It's a great win, and another great win at home as well with a good crowd. But yeah, I was surprised it was as prolific as it was. Obviously, with new signings in the squad as well.
I say historically, to get that win of a 4-0 win against Southport would be kind of like we'd be really pleased with that. So it feels like we've done that, and it's kind of like, well, we expect that because of where Southport are in the league. So yeah, very good.
I make that Tamworth's biggest win since they beat Darlington 4-0 back in October. And they also drew 0-0 away to Southport in the reverse fixture in September. So obviously that's a big difference in scoreline against Southport. Quite good to match the record win as well. Is it sort of too early to get excited and say this is a team that is going to last the course here at the top of the table? I personally would say I came away thinking these look the real deal, and they really didn't have to get out of second gear for most of it.
I think so. We seem to be getting a lot of praise as well from other managers. I saw the post match interview from Jim Bentley, the Southport manager, and he I think he pretty much said the way we play, they just couldn't cope with it. And there's quite a few managers who said that this season. And when you watch the Tamworth team, you can see that it's just a well-oiled machine. And I think that's what we can take now for the rest of the season, and we've got that momentum behind us, and we just keep doing what we're doing really. we're definitely going to win more games than we lose. I'm quite confident of that.
We were talking off air before. It's a sign of a good size, or potentially a title chasing side who can turn up, churn out results like that, and then just crack on and move on to the next.
Quite a few good individual performances in the game as well, and Chris Ray getting his first Tamworth goal. You can listen back to our previous episode where we talked about him in more detail. Also, Dan Creaney returning from the bench. So we've gone from being slightly concerned about the options up front to now a little bit of depth for at least the next few weeks while Chris Ray is around, Graham.
Yeah, it's exciting. We're all really excited, obviously, for him when he came in. And it's good for him to get off the mark in front of the home fans on his, on his debut. And I was surprised when I saw he'd started, but sounds like that Ty Deacon was actually ill on Saturday. But he's obviously took advantage of that really well and got himself a goal. And he was obviously quite involved with just hassling that Southport back line. So yeah, no, it's really good, and to have the option of Dan Creaney back as well. I mean, that's fantastic for the club. Just gives everybody a bit of a boost as well. But I think this injury list is really trimmed down. We're sort of blessed with a lot of options. Yeah, it's really pleasing, to be honest.
I love the togetherness in the whole team. I think you look at Shakuna and Jellis, they just look like they are loving playing for the club and they're loving the football. We've had that speculation with Jamie Jellis a couple of weeks ago. And if for whatever reason he was to leave, I'm sure there'd be absolutely no animosity between him or the club. But I just think that's another sign of a good side as well. You can't coach that. You can't coach sort of team spirit.
Next up for Tamworth then is Peterborough Sports away. They finished 14th in the National League North last season and they currently sit 17th. It's 2 wins and 3 defeats in the last 5 matches for them. Brett, Tamworth beat Peterborough Sports 3-0 at the Lamb in September. I'm going to get your precise scoreline predictions in a bit, but are you confident the Lambs can do the double?
I never like being arrogant, really, when it comes to thinking about teams that we're going to win or look at predictions. But we'll go back to the first episode, the second episode, when I said I thought we were going to win every game bar Chester. I still think that we will. I mean, I know they had a good result last weekend in Peterborough Sports against South Shields. But I mean, they might be looking at that as well, thinking, oh, we got something out of South Shields. Like, why can't we get something out of Tamworth at home? But yeah, not worried at all, really.
That result last weekend was interesting. I think probably South Shields something's not quite right there at the moment. They've been on a bit of a bad streak, which is obviously why the gap's opened up. So yeah, not sure of how much we can take from that. If we're playing our game and we're on tune, I think it's 3 points to us. Peterborough Sports are actually quite poor at home. So that kind of, fills me with a bit of optimism as well. But I think, yeah, we've got to be confident going into this game. We should come away with the 3 points, really.
I suppose you would look at this on paper and say, well, if Tamworth are serious about keeping this promotion push going, this is the sort of game you really need to be going there looking at getting all 3 points, isn't it, Graham?
Absolutely, yeah. It should just be I'm not going to say a tick box exercise, but it should be fairly straightforward. Where Peterborough are in the league, and that they're not really. That South Shields was always obviously decent, but I'd obviously not pulling up any trees this season, kind of where they are at the moment. But we can't underestimate them. We just have to go and play our game, and I think we'll be absolutely fine, and we'll get the 3 points.
It's predictions time then. So on our last episode, you both correctly backed Tamworth to win, but neither of you got the scoreline correct. Brett, I believe you opted for a 1-0 victory, and Graham, you were slightly closer with your 2-0 prediction. That means for our prediction league, you both get a point each for correctly predicting the win. Brett, that leaves you sitting pretty at the top on 5 points. Graham, minding the gap on 2 points. A reminder, you get 3 points for correct scoreline. Bang on. So it's competitive at the top at the moment.
That gap's opening up.
Sockers and South Shields.
Peterborough Sports away up next then. Graham.
Do you know what? I don't have anything in my head like the Southport game for this one. So I'm going to go 2-1 Tamworth.
I think we should be able to go there and score a couple at least, but I'm going to go 3-0.
Lovely optimism.
We're going to get absolutely turned over now.
Let's hope not.
That's all for this episode of the Tamworth FC Social podcast. Thank you for listening. You can follow us on social media at TFC Social Pod. If you've enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button and turning video notifications on. Until next time, goodbye.